Central California. This is ABC 30 Action News, AM Live.
Your voice, your vote at 6 a.m. It's Election Day, and polls here in the Valley open in about an hour at 7 a.m.
We have live team coverage on this huge day for America and the Central Valley. But before we get to your forecast and our local election coverage, let's go first live to Washington for an early morning update from ABC's Elizabeth Herr. And Elizabeth, a ton at stake today for Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump.
Absolutely. And here on the East Coast, the polls are now open and voting well underway. And so this means for both candidates, they can just now wait and watch after their marathon campaigning.
Dueling rallies kicking off Decision Day in America.
So it's now officially Tuesday, November 8th.
I gotta tell you, this is sure worth staying up for.
Just after midnight, more famous friends joining Hillary Clinton at her final rally in North Carolina. Clinton getting celebrity support from Lady Gaga to John Bon Jovi and Bruce Springsteen in the crucial final hours. While Donald Trump made his closing arguments in Michigan with running mate Mike Pence, arguing they don't need any big names to win, pointing to his standing room only crowds.
Today is our Independence Day.
Election Day voting officially kicked off at the stroke of midnight in the small community of Dixville Notch, New Hampshire. This morning, Trump and Clinton, after crisscrossing the country, are back in their home state of New York to cast their ballots. Two of the least liked candidates in history now leaving everything to voters.
We will make America safe again, and we will make America great again.
There is no reason, my friends, why America's best days are not ahead of us if we reach for them together.
And Clinton's vote is now in. Trump is set to vote later this morning, and then they don't have any scheduled events until later tonight in Midtown Manhattan. That is the very latest from here live in Washington. I'm Elizabeth Herr for Action News, AM Live. Back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Elizabeth, for that live report from Washington, D.C. Should be an exciting day.
Definitely. Action News reporter Vanessa Vasconcelos is standing by live at the Fresno County Elections Office. But first, let's check on the Election Day forecast with Alina Lee. How's it looking out there, Alina?
Oh, it's looking a little bit foggy out there, Tony. So just like we saw out there yesterday morning and pretty much over the last weekend, foggy and a bit hazy. And right now we're taking a live look from downtown Fresno with our Fresno Sky Cam. You can see the sun is starting to rise, but the haze in the horizon is blocking it, so it looks a little bit fuzzy on your screen this morning. Temperature right now, 53 degrees in Fresno. Visibility down near 3 miles. Winds out of the east-northeast around 3 miles per hour. And your fog tracker, a closer look at where the thickest fog is, just down to the South Valley. 2-mile visibility in Visalia, at or below 500 feet visibility in Hanford, and just the far northeastern portion of Kings County. Meanwhile, if you look up to the north and west, it's not nearly as dense out there, especially in Merced, where visibility as low as 4 miles. Madera, you're seeing visibility near 5. Temperatures across the valley floor are in the upper 40s to low 50s right now, so it is a bit cool out there, but warming up quickly. By noontime today, we'll already be in the mid-70s. This afternoon, topping out in the upper 70s, close to 80 degrees. More on this warm forecast coming up later, but Tony, Amanda, back to you.
Hey, Alina, thank you. It is the biggest day of the year at the Fresno County Elections Office.
Our team coverage continues with Action News reporter Vanessa Vasconcelos live in downtown Fresno with some last-minute tips. Good morning, Vanessa.
Good morning, Amanda, Tony. It's hard to believe that in just 1 hour, polls are going to open. And I'm here at the Fresno County Elections Office where we've already had workers showing up for work. They are preparing for a busy day. Now, keep in mind, we have 55 electoral votes up for grabs here in California. 19.4 million Californians have registered to vote. That's a historical high for the state. Now, right here in Fresno County, we have more than 437,000 registered voters. Now, 250,000 mail-in ballots were issued, more than 114,000 returned. Now, the elections office is already preparing for the long lines at the polling locations. You can find your polling place on your sample ballot. There are more than 200 polling locations that you can visit. We also have drive-through polling locations as well, including right here at the downtown offices. Now, there are more than 400 voting precincts throughout the county with more than 1,600 precinct officers. Now, our county clerk, Brandy Orr, tells me presidential races bring out the biggest voter turnout. On our ballots, we do have the presidential, Senate, and 17 statewide propositions. That's the most since 2000. Now, we also have local races going on, including the Fresno mayoral race. Now, both South and North Valley campaigns have been bringing out their volunteers to campaign, but we know that they can't be here. They can't be within 100 feet. Is that correct?
Exactly. Good morning again.
Good morning. Yes, we have Brandy Orth here. I'm sorry, I'm like so in the groove. I'm excited for elections right now.
Terrific.
It's a busy day for you right now. Tell me just a little bit about what people need to know. No selfies in the polling booths?
Correct. No selfies. The polling location has to be a neutral, quiet location for voters to cast their ballot without any undue influence. And so there is no campaigning within 100 feet of the polling location, and certainly not within the polling location. Also, selfies are not allowed. You are also not allowed to take a picture of your voted ballot and post it anywhere on social media or show it to any other person. So those are just the tips. The important thing is to find your polling location. Either look on the back of your sample ballot booklet where it's printed, go on our website and look it up. Call us at 600 votes.
And we'll be sure to have that information on our website as well. Brandy, thank you so much for coming out this morning. I know it's a busy day here at the elections office. We're going to have that information on our website, abc30.com. Polls open at 7 this morning. They close at 8 p.m., but I do want you to keep in mind if you're in line by 8 p.m., you will be able to cast your vote. I'll send it back to you in studio. Tony, Amanda, back to you.
Okay, Vanessa, thank you. And new this morning, 3 tiny towns in New Hampshire have already finished counting their ballots, and Donald Trump has the lead. The towns of Dixville Notch, Hart's Location, and Millsfield are allowed to vote starting at midnight because the towns have less than 100 people. After the votes were cast and the ballots were counted, Trump came out ahead, 32-25.
And again, the polls are open today from 7 this morning until 8 tonight. ABC 30, the ABC 30 mobile app, and abc30.com are your home for complete election night coverage. And we're live today beginning at 3 p.m. with a special edition of Action News. Then get the first local election returns during a primetime edition of Action News at 8 p.m. So just stay on ABC 30 all afternoon long to watch those election results come in. We'll also be on social media as well.
And there's bound to be very tight races in this, so tune in tomorrow morning for those. Action News time 6:07. Still to come, the early morning crash that has one intersection in Fresno still closed at this hour.
Plus, raining threes, the Golden State Warrior who set a new NBA record for shots beyond the arc.
Also ahead, frozen in time. Take a look at your screen how Hillary Clinton and her plane load of people had some fun on social media just a couple hours ago.
But before we go, here's a live look at the North Valley from our Merced Sky Cam. Starting off to be a nice Tuesday. Alina Lee will tell you what parts of the valley are experiencing fog coming up.
This portion of Action News is brought to you by Fresno Heart and Surgical Hospital.
Community Medical Centers is building the one healthcare network to care for your family through all of life stages. The network connecting 1,300 doctors with each other, with one of the nation's top medical schools, and with you. The one equipped to keep moms and babies together, and the one more moms trust to care for their families. So when choosing who will care for your family, turn to the one. Community Medical Centers. One network, one community.
Once the dust settles from Congressman Valadeo's misleading smear campaign, a shocking revelation. Valadeo was named one of the most corrupt in all of Congress. Valadeo abused his position for personal gain, benefiting his family property worth millions. We need Emilio Huerta. Born and raised in the Central Valley, he worked for the United Farm Workers Union. Emilio Huerta fights for us every time. House Majority PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Coming up, Alina Lee with the exclusive Storm Warn 30 forecast, the fastest, most powerful weather tracking system in Central California.
The year-end inventory reduction is on now at Future Ford of Clovis. Every pre-owned Ford, Chevy, Honda, and Toyota will be sold at the year's best prices. And get 1.9% APR financing for 72 months. Your best deals of the year are today at Future Ford of Clovis or FutureFordClovis.com 24/7.
Luck is just around the corner at Table Mountain Casino. Win big jackpots and massive cash playing your favorite slots and table games. Plus, enjoy top-name entertainment and an incredible buffet and an award-winning restaurant. So let the games begin. Voted best local casino. Table Mountain, Central Valley's casino for winning. Table Mountain Casino. Get your win on.
When growing up, my dad would always instill in us that whatever you do, you should do it to serve other people.
He has always had the constituents first in mind.
And he really has a servant's heart, not only for his family, but I've also seen that for the city and for the people who live in District 6.
Great councilman.
Thank you so much.
We know he's the best man for the job.
He took time off to raise us, and now that he's raised us, he still has a passion for Fresno and wants to come back in order to serve the people one last time.
Paid for by Bredefeld for Fresno City Council.
The year-end inventory reduction is on now at Future Ford of Clovis. Every pre-owned Ford, Chevy, Honda, and Toyota will be sold at the year's best prices. And get 1.9% APR financing for 72 months. Your best deals of the year are today at Future Ford of Clovis or FutureFordClovis.com 24/7.
This is ABC 30 Action News AM Live with Amanda Venegas, Tony Cabrera, and Alina Lee with the Storm Warn 30 forecast.
Welcome back. 6/11 Election Day, and many are gonna face some fog on the way to the polls.
Yeah, definitely to the polls, or if you have to go to work still and you're going to wait till after work to go to the polls. Yeah, right now, if you're driving outside in the next hour or two, maybe even close to 10 o'clock, you will expect some fog out there. You'll experience that, especially in the South Valley, where Hanford's still dealing with visibilities as low as 500 feet, even lower than that in some areas. But otherwise, Visalia now seeing visibility as low as 2 miles, 3-mile visibility in Fresno, 4 in Merced, and 5 in Madera. Temperatures right now generally in the 50s already, still staying at 49 degrees in Hanford, 53 in Fresno, 50 everywhere else across the valley floor. We are going to get a little bit warmer later on today. We're talking highs in the upper 70s, which is about 10 degrees above our average high for this time of year. Our record of 85 degrees was set back in 1955, so that's definitely warm out there. So I don't think we'll break any records, but we'll come a couple of degrees shy of 85. All right, air quality report today. Basically, sensitive groups, Madera, Fresno, Kings, and Tulare counties under that category. Merced now in the moderate category, just like the last couple of days or so. And for that reason, we've added Merced County, or we haven't, but that has been added to our graphic here. And that's for areas that have the wood-burning fires, but you're not allowed to burn them unless they're registered. So keep that in mind today. Today's forecast, upper 70s, close to 80 degrees across the valley floor, then falling to the low 50s as we head through this evening, and watch out for some patchy fog redeveloping across the valley floor later on tonight. All right, your 4-day outlook, upper 70s all the rest of the work week. We're talking Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Hazy sunshine expected and warm. Upper 70s, close to 80 degrees through the rest of the work week heading into Veterans Day. The weekend, though, looking a little bit cooler, but maybe by a degree or so. Right now, we're going to take a look at traffic this morning with CHP Officer Justin Foraker. Good morning, Justin.
Good morning, Alina, and good morning, everyone. Let's go ahead and pull up that live traffic tracker. Take a look at your Tuesday morning commute. We're going to take a wide shot of all the major roadways here in Fresno. Great news, the 41, 99, 168, and 180, all accident and incident free. No major traffic collisions or hazards to report at this time. Everything's moving smoothly and at the speed limit through Fresno. As we move down to the South Valley, do have a two-vehicle non-injury traffic collision located on southbound State Route 99 at Bardsley. Everything is on the right-hand shoulder. CHP is on scene, so we'll be traveling that way this morning. Please give yourself a little bit of extra time. Let's go and take a live look outside here. State Route 99 just south of the 198 down there in the South Valley. As you can see, traffic is light and moving smoothly. I'm Officer Foraker with the California Highway Patrol. That's a quick look at your roads this Tuesday morning. Let's go ahead and send it back to Tony and Amanda in the studio.
All right, thanks so much, Justin. Action News time now, 6:14. Up next, we'll show you the record-breaking three-pointer from Golden State star Steph Curry.
Plus, we'll check in with Derek Carr next after that convincing win over the defending NFL champions.
The time has finally come.
This is by far the most important vote that you've ever cast.
Are you ready to go to the polls?
And election night, this is where the Central Valley turns for answers. ABC News and Action News. Election night live.
This election day, spend your morning with Miles Teller, David Diggs, and Scandal's president, Tony Goldwyn.
I feel this is so topical to have a president of the United States.
Next live.
Today at 9, only on ABC 30.
Prop 56 is a $1.4 billion a year tax increase that goes mostly to special interests like health insurance companies. They rigged 56 to benefit themselves. Stop the special interest tax grab. No on 56.
And that's why I trust Valley Children's for all my son Dallas' needs. Next question.
Is he a quarterback like you?
Well, Dallas is only 2, so...
And you're a superhero?
I'm not, but the people at Valley Children's sure are. They helped my son get better when few others could. Last question.
Who's the better quarterback, you or George?
I think it's pretty obvious, right? Valley Children's, futures worth fighting for.
Emilio Huerta admitted he has no plans to address our water needs. Think about that. Emilio Huerta wants to represent us in Congress, but says he has no plans to help us with our most important issue. No wonder Huerta is bankrolled by Bay Area environmentalists who want to take our water. But David Valadao is on our side. He's fighting for a clean, reliable water supply for Central Valley farms and communities.
I'm David Valadao, and I approve this message.
Do you have a teenage son with a hollow leg and 2 stomachs? Then this is the pizza for you. Papa Murphy's 5-meat stuffed pizza. 5 types of premium meats stuffed between 2 layers of scratch-made dough. Just $11. And save even more when you order at papamurphys.com.
As Attorney General, she's fought to keep our kids out of harm's way. Kamala Harris. She cracked down on truancy to keep young people in school. Got tough on sexual predators who target our children. Now Harris is running for Senate. Her plan? Invest in teaching and learning. Rein in the spiraling cost of college. Make childcare affordable for working families. Kamala Harris, a champion for our children. Standing up for California's middle class is responsible for the content of this ad.
Prop 56 is a $1.4 billion a year tax increase that goes mostly to special interests like health insurance companies. They rigged 56 to benefit themselves. Stop the special interest tax grab. No on 56.
The 3 for the record.
There it is. You just watched Steph Curry break the NBA record for most three-pointers in a game.
Wow.
The Warriors star hit 13 of them last night as part of a 46-point night at Oracle. Golden State beat New Orleans 116-106. That's huge.
He was on fire.
Yeah.
Steph Curry's awesome.
To say the least. The Oakland Raiders are in first place this election day after beating the Broncos Sunday.
Yeah, on this week's QB&A Action News, sports director Tommy Tran asked quarterback Derek Carr about his mentality going up into the primetime matchup.
I'm not really. I really just believe in the process that we have. I believe in the guys in our locker room and that we've really created a culture where every game is huge to us. Every game matters because they all do, especially when it comes down to, the end of the year when teams are trying to fight for the playoffs in this league. Every game is so important, and so you don't want to make any of them too big or too small, and I think I've, mentioned this before. If you have to make a game bigger, then I don't think you're doing enough, in your preparation before that. So, I think it was cool. I think it's great. I think it means exactly what it means. We've earned, first place in the AFC West so far, but we still have to finish the season off strong.
Well, from a fan's perspective, this was the biggest game the Raiders have had in more than a decade. And so just from a Raider Nation perspective, Derek, how many text messages did you get? How many notifications on Twitter? Can you give us a little bit from that win on Sunday night?
You always get more text messages when you win. Everyone wants to feel, more a part of it and things like that, and that's all right. But, it's cool, man. Raider Nation is the best. I think we have the best fans, not only in football, but all of sports. They're loyal, they're faithful. They've supported me through 0-10. Now they're supporting us through, 7-2. So, it feels good, to, be able to match our win total from last year already, and especially to get a big win at home. That was really important to me, was to get a win at home for our fans, because we've been winning on the road so much. We wanted to at least get one back here at home for our fans.
Oh, so can't wait to see what happens with the Raiders. A lot of us Derek Carr fans, we become Raiders fans just watching this team.
Oh yeah, he's done some huge things for the Raiders, and definitely exciting for fans and the team.
And you said your family's really excited about
Hardcore Raiders fans.
All right, well, we're moving on to your Tuesday forecast, and we're seeing some hazy conditions.
That's right. Alina Lee tracking those right now this election day. Hi, Alina.
Hi, Tony and Amanda, and hi at home. Yeah, we're tracking some fog and a little bit of a haze later on today that'll reduce visibilities. Right now, our visibilities are fairly low, especially if you live in the South Valley, where Hanford's still seeing visibility at or below 500 feet, and anyone that lives in the far northeastern portion of Kings County. Now, just over to the east near Visalia, they're seeing visibility near 2 miles. It's about a 3-mile visibility in Fresno and 4 now in Merced, 5-mile visibility in Madera. Your temperatures as you head out the door still in the 40s and 50s in some spots. Still stuck at 49 though in Hanford, 50 in Visalia, 53 in Fresno. Madera coming in at 50 degrees, 50 a very popular number right now. As we head through the afternoon though, you can expect temperatures to climb into the upper 70s, close to 80 degrees this afternoon. That is almost 10 degrees above average for many spots across the valley floor. It will be warm out there, of course, with temperatures like that, but in the foothills, excuse me, you can expect temperatures in the mid to upper 70s, so still fairly warm out there as well, with temperatures above average across the entire region today. And then as we head through the Sierra this afternoon, you'll expect mostly sunny skies and warmer, at least considering yesterday we were only going to be in the mid to upper 60s. Now going to see some 70s out there. 72 in Yosemite. Fish Camp will make it near 64 degrees, and Sequoia National Park at 70. At the coast today, though, high surf advisory until tomorrow evening. Otherwise, also going to be warm along the immediate coast, where temperatures topping out in the upper 60s, perhaps even some 80 degrees in Los Angeles and San Diego. Back to you, Tony, Amanda.
All right, Alina, thank you. And still to come here on Action News AM Live, the intersection in Fresno still closed after a car crashed into a power pole.
Plus, take a look at this incredible video of a massive sinkhole caught on camera. There it goes, where it happened and what we know about injuries.
Action News is sponsored by Clovis Glass.
Want to put the very best Milgard replacement windows in your home? Clovis Glass recommends the Milgard Essence series. Transform your home with Milgard's Essence replacement windows and doors. Count on our best price guarantee. We match and beat written estimates from our competition. Finance your window replacements with the Hero program, and your payments can be tax deductible. Stop by the Clovis Glass showroom for the best prices. I'm Dan. At Clovis Glass, we'll make it easy.
Fire grilled chicken plus avocado. Fire grilled chicken plus fajita veggies. Fire grilled chicken plus more fire grilled chicken. Yeah, baby. New signature bowls only at El Pollo Loco. Fresh from the grill.
I'm Jim Costa, and I approve this message.
Meet politician Johnny Teixeira. Johnny Teixeira is performing a bad act for Valley voters. Teixeira wants to cut Medicare for seniors and slash cancer research. Teixeira says privatize Social Security and put our retirees at the mercy of Wall Street. And Johnny Teixeira even wants to shut down federal funding for local Valley schools. Johnny Teixeira, his act is wrong for our Valley.
Negative K, that's further, just getting Candy in the corner. Getting ready, cause here I come. Gonna move the mountain, gonna touch the sky, stand in the middle of a hurricane, looking right in the eye. Ain't nothing gonna hold me down.
Our next mayor should have the vision to make Fresno a world-class city.
That's why we're supporting Lee Brand.
Lee is a team player who works together to find solutions.
Lee's trustworthy, and no one works harder than he does.
Lee has a plan to put 1,000 police officers on duty to keep us safe.
And to create a Citizens Police Advisory Board.
Lee has a detailed blueprint to create thousands of new jobs.
Join us and working families throughout Fresno in voting Lee Brand for mayor.
At El Pollo Loco, we're famous for our fire-grilled, citrus-marinated chicken and our sides. And sides. And sides. Right now, get any family meal and enjoy a free large side. Only at El Pollo Loco. Fresh from the grill.
We have breaking news out of Northeast Fresno this morning. PG&E crews have just arrived on the scene of a car that crashed into a power pole. This is on Gettysburg between Fresno Street and Blackstone. These are live pictures of the scene right now. It happened at about 3:30 this morning. Police and PG&E have closed the road off. They're trying to find out how to replace the pole that's literally just hanging by the wires that we see here. They say it'll take hours to get the area back open, so avoid it if you can. Officials say the woman driving the car was not hurt and it's unlikely that drugs or alcohol played a role in the crash. And new this morning, we're getting a look at some incredible new footage of a massive sinkhole opening in Japan.
Yeah, it actually opened up overnight, forcing several nearby buildings in a busy downtown area to evacuate. Officials say that hole about 100 feet wide and as deep as 65 feet. Dozens of buildings around the area saw them. Now, it's unclear what caused the mess, but nearby residents say it felt like an earthquake when it was happening. So far, there are no reports of any injuries.
Pretty scary there. Action News Time 6:25. In our next half hour, live team coverage as we track both the Trump and Clinton campaigns from New York.
Let's take a look at this new video from just a little while ago, how Hillary Clinton took part in a social media challenge with a plane load of people.
And I'm Vanessa Vasconcelos, live in downtown Fresno, where volunteers, precinct officers are all showing up, getting ready for the big day. We are talking about polls opening in less than an hour coming up.
But before we go, here's your first look at Good Morning America.
In this morning's GMA First Look, they're the candidates' secret weapons, their families.
He will make fantastic president.
She's strong enough to be president.
The potential first families pounding the campaign pavement for that presidential win.
We get a sense of who they are through their children, through their spouse. We want to get a human connection to that individual. Families give us that connection.
She's the best darn change maker I ever met in my entire life.
Still hugely popular in Democratic circles, President Bill Clinton has tried to capitalize on that love. But in a rare move for political spouses, Melania Trump has been mostly absent from the trail.
So it's hard to say whether she's been a positive or negative factor. She's really has been a neutral factor.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we have wall-to-wall coverage as America votes. With your GMA First Look, I'm Paula Ferris, ABC News, Florida.
Feeling more like spring, we'll have the details on AM Live.
Would you believe my boy used to have food sensitivities? But then we fed him Blue Basics, and he's never looked or felt better.
If your dog has food sensitivities, it's time to try limited ingredient Blue Basics.
Just press clean and let Roomba help with your everyday messes. A full suite of sensors automatically guides Roomba throughout your home, cleaning under furniture, along edges, and in corners. And Roomba's patented 3-stage cleaning system agitates, brushes, and suctions dirt from your floors for up to 2 hours, recharging itself when it needs to, which means your floors are always clean. You and Roomba from iRobot. Better together.
Good morning.
There are 16 fresh-picked oranges squeezed into each bottle of Tropicana Pure Premium, and absolutely no space for added sugar, water, or preservatives. Tropicana. We put the good in morning.
Prop 61 is terrible for veterans. But 61 isn't just bad for veterans. Prop 61 only covers 12% of Californians. The other 88% would see an increase in prescription drug prices. Vote no on 61.
Hi, I'm Barbara Corcoran. I've met thousands of home sellers over the years, and their number one fear is, what happens if my home doesn't sell on time? There's one agent I recommend because they guarantee to sell your home.
In Fresno and Clovis, I would hire Ben Martin. He sells homes faster than the average agent and can guarantee to sell your home in 29 days, or he will buy it.
Partner with the agent I trust. Go online or call and get your home sold.
I was a reserve police officer for 15 years, like these men and women, in the line of fire, working undercover, and patrolling every neighborhood in Fresno. As mayor, we will put more cops on the street using money we have. It's an old school, conservative approach to problems we will fix.
November 8th, vote Henry Perea for mayor. Endorsed by Fresno's police officers, firefighters, deputies, prosecutors, and the Fresno Bee.
Prop 61, big promises. But what are the facts? 61 only applies to 12% of Californians. The other 88% would see an increase in prescription drug costs. That's right, 61 would increase drug costs for 88%. Vote no on 61.
ABC 30 Action News AM Live starts now with 15 minutes of nonstop news.
Your voice, your vote. New video at 6:30. Hillary Clinton and her plane load of people were having some fun overnight, standing completely still.
It's part of a new trend on social media called the Mannequin Challenge. You can see dozens of people are in on it, including singer Bon Jovi. At the end, they all suddenly unfreeze. This happened at around 3:30 this morning, East Coast time in New York. No word on whether Donald Trump has joined in on the craze or if he cares about the craze. But I know we were trying to get in on it this morning. It's pretty hard to stay there that long.
Yeah, but let's get right over to our live team campaign coverage at 6:30. Action News reporter Vanessa Vasconcelos is live at the Fresno County Elections Office, and we also have live reporters standing by with both the Clinton and Trump campaigns. Let's first start with ABC's Adrienne Bankert and live in New York with new overnight details on Donald Trump. Good morning, Adrienne.
Good morning to you, Amanda and Tony. I don't think he was into that whole mannequin challenge, but I don't think he slept either. What a night. In fact, his last rally of this campaign was at 1 in the morning Eastern. Oh my goodness. It was already election day and he was still shouting out to all of the American voters that he says represent not only a campaign, but a movement. And of course, it was in Grand Rapids, Michigan, a key battleground state.
Early Tuesday morning, Election Day. Donald Trump wrapping a campaign blitz.
So it's now officially Tuesday, November 8th.
Rallying his supporters in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Today is our Independence Day. Today, the American working class is going to strike back, finally.
The Republican nominee's last stop capping a marathon day of 8 states in 24 hours, including Florida and New Hampshire. Long lines of supporters waiting overnight to see him.
We're winning Ohio. We're winning Iowa. We're winning, we think, New Hampshire.
Donald Trump returning to New York to vote at 10 a.m.
And we're just minutes away from Donald Trump dropping that ballot in. We do know this, that he said on an earlier phone interview today that he did have some regrets, but still extremely confident, looking forward to those polling numbers to see exactly how well he did. He'll be partying tonight with his campaign here at the Hilton Hotel for that big election night party. Adrienne Bankert, ABC News and Action News AM Live. Let's toss it over to my colleague Kenneth Moten. He's been following the Clinton campaign.
And Adrienne, Hillary Clinton, she cast her ballot this morning. That's right, Adrienne. Yes, and Hillary Clinton, she cast her ballot this morning in Chappaqua, New York. She'll be here in just a few hours with the world watching.
A woman on the cusp of history, standing with this nation's first black president in front of thousands in the birthplace of the nation, Philadelphia.
I will be a president for all Americans.
This unprecedented image, the Clintons and the Obamas united.
I'm asking you to work as hard as you can this one last day to elect, my fellow Americans, this fighter, this stateswoman.
Overnight, Clinton received some star-studded help from the boss, Bruce Springsteen, John Bon Jovi, and Lady Gaga, who made her way to battleground North Carolina, where Clinton made her closing argument.
Love trumps hate. Thank you. Let's go vote, North Carolina.
All right, so Clinton and Trump both holding their election night parties here in New York City, but we've learned that they'll only be about a block away from each other watching those results come in. Reporting live here in New York City with the Clinton campaign, Kenneth Moten, Action News AM Live. Amanda, Tony, back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Kenneth, for that live coverage from New York there. We're following all the latest on the national scene and on the local scene. Well, let's move on to your forecast on this election day. We're taking a live look at our Fresno Skycam. We've seen that fog kind of boom in here.
That's right, and as people head to the polls today, they're going to want to know, will it be foggy? Here's Alina Lee with the forecast. Hi, Alina.
Hi, Tony and Amanda. Yeah, to answer your question in short, it will be foggy out there, especially if you live in the South Valley and even parts in the North Valley experiencing some patchy fog. Nothing like the view from that downtown Fresno Skycam, because right now you can see from our Hedrick Chevrolet Skycam, I believe it looks a little clear out there right now from this view. However, don't be fooled by this camera view because visibilities are still reduced just a little bit. Near 3 miles in Fresno, temperature at 53 degrees. Everywhere else across the valley floor, visibilities are reduced no matter what. In Hanford, though, you're still seeing that visibility at or below 500 feet. In Visalia, visibilities as low as 2 miles, and Porterville coming in at 6-mile visibility there. Now we're taking a look at to the north and west. Merced, 4-mile visibility, down near 5 in Madera and 3 again here in Fresno. Temperatures as you step outside right this minute are still in the upper 40s to low 50s. Now 49 in Merced and Hanford, 53 still in Fresno, and 50 degrees between Madera, Lemoore, Porterville, and Visalia. Once we get into the afternoon, though, temperatures warming into the upper 70s under hazy sunshine, and that warming trend continuing through the rest of the work week. We'll talk about those cooler temperatures coming up next. For now, we're going to send it over to CHP Officer Justin Foraker with a look at the roadways. How's it going, Justin?
Good morning, Alina, and good morning, everyone. Everything's looking pretty good this morning. I do have one traffic collision to let everyone know about, so let's go ahead and pull up that live traffic tracker, see how it might affect your Tuesday morning commute. Looks like out in the western portion of Fresno County, northbound I-5 at the 198 connector, have a 2-vehicle non-injury traffic collision. It is on the right-hand shoulder. CHP as well as tow truck personnel are on scene out there, so if you are traveling that way this morning, please give yourself a little bit of extra time and give those crews a little bit of extra room on the right-hand shoulder as they work on getting that cleared up for you. As we move back up here to Fresno, take a wide look at all the major roadways up here. The 41, 99, 168, and 180, all accident and incident free. No major traffic collisions or hazards to report at this time. Let's go and take a live look outside here as we see State Route 180 to the northbound 41 connector. Traffic is light and moving smoothly through Fresno. I'm Officer Foraker with the California Highway Patrol, reminding everyone to keep those seatbelts fastened and please keep driving safely. Tony, Amanda, back to you in the studio.
All right, Justin, thank you. And let's get back to the election. Activity is picking up right now at the Fresno County Elections Office. Our team coverage continues live with Action News reporter Vanessa Vasconcelos. She's live with the Fresno County Clerk with some Election Day tips. Vanessa, good morning.
Good morning, Tony, Amanda. Now, let me tell you, the clock is ticking. We are less than half an hour away from polls opening, and you can already see we have volunteers here that are showing up, ready to work, ready for a record number of voters. Now, when President Obama was running, they had a 70% voter turnout. Now, Fresno County office officials are telling me that they are expecting it to match, maybe even surpass that. Now, keep in mind, we have 280 polling locations here in Fresno County, and you want to be sure to check our website for those polling locations. Joining me right now, we have Fresno County Clerk Brandy Orth. Brandy, tell me just a little bit about what people need to know. Can they bring in their sample ballots?
Absolutely, and so we've mailed you a sample ballot to your home, and I hope you've read it and that you can mark your choices in there. You're allowed to take this in the voting booth with you and copy your choices over. Also on the back of this sample ballot is printed your polling location, and that's really important to go to the place that you've been assigned, or else you will be asked to vote a provisional ballot envelope. And that just takes a little bit more time and will be researched after the election.
437,000 registered voters right here in Fresno County. What does that mean to you, seeing that there is such a big turnout?
It's wonderful, and I think that's a terrific commentary on how people in Fresno County are getting involved in the process. In fact, right now it'll take over 2,000 people to actually administer this election today. The wonderful folks that you see behind me are people that are trained precinct officers ready to fill in this morning on folks that may have called in sick, and so they've been here early waiting for their assignments, and we just have hundreds of people ready to do their civic duty and help voters today.
Brady, thank you so much, and I want you all to keep in mind 215,000 mail-in ballots were issued. 114,000 already came back. I'm going to send it back to you in studio, but keep in mind polls open at 7 a.m. 8 p.m. is when they close, but if you are in line by 8 p.m. you will be able to cast your vote. Back to you in studio.
Vanessa, you can get those ballots in today. Well, local Republican and Democratic Party leaders will make one last push across the valley this election day. That includes making calls and going door to door. Our team coverage continues with Action News reporter Christina Fan tracking the 11th hour for the local parties.
I was just calling to let you know if you received your absentee ballot.
The phone lines keep ringing, fingers busy dialing. In the final hours before the polls open, everyone's picking up the pace.
There's a lot of work still to be done, a lot of voters still to connect with.
From the South Valley to the North Valley, local party leaders are summoning every volunteer they can find to launch one last push, one last plea to voters who haven't cast their ballot.
We're working so hard. We set a record yesterday, over 3,000 phone calls from this location. We've phoned over 40,000 in the past few weeks.
The local Republican office has dedicated most of its resources to phone banking. Volunteers will also be sent to polling places.
When we find out who hasn't voted, give the information to the phone bank, and then they know exactly the ones that are calling.
Local Democrats are choosing to remain on their feet, walking door to door like they did during the primaries, urging people to come out.
There's no question that they get a few extra voters out to the poll. Everyone isn't as enthusiastic about voting, so sometimes they need a little push.
Both parties say their focus is on the mayoral race, and while they hope for different outcomes,
most people have probably already made up their mind.
The emotions surrounding this election are often the same.
There's a lot of excitement, a lot of people coming out and voting that have given up.
Christina Fan, Action News, AM Live.
And we're coming up on 6:40 this morning. Let's take a live look right now from our Kauai Delta Medical Center Skycam. You can see some of that haze, some of that fog there.
That's right, and we are tracking our first foggy day schedule for school this season alone. Let's turn things over to Alina with a look at that. Hi, Alina.
Hi, Tony and Amanda, and good morning to you at home. Yes, if you live or attend Armona Elementary School and you take buses 2 and 1A, well, you're for Plan A, so keep that in mind. Armona Elementary School, buses 2 and 1A, you're in Plan A. So keep that in mind as you head out the door this morning or plan for school. Visibilities right now are fairly low, so our fog tracker showing you down below a mile in Merced now, 5-mile visibility in Madera, 2.5 miles of visibility in Fresno. Still in Hanford, seeing visibilities at or below 500 feet. And now Visalia coming in at 1.75 mile visibility. So that fog has become a little bit thicker since the 4 and 5 o'clock hour at this time, and it looks like it's going to stick around through the rest of your morning, just like it always does during this time of year, unfortunately. Right now, your temperatures are still in the upper 40s to near 50 degrees, now 52 in Fresno, 50 in Madera, 49 in Merced and Hanford. It's 50 in Lemoore, Visalia, and Porterville. So a bit cool out there to start, but we will warm up significantly later on today. Those numbers in just a moment. Air quality report, unhealthy for those sensitive groups in Madera, Fresno, Kings, and Tulare counties today. Merced still under the moderate category for today, just like it was yesterday and the previous days. Also want to talk about your check before you burn status update. Merced, Madera, Fresno, Kings, and Tulare counties all under the no burning restriction unless your equipment is registered. So keep that in mind today if you plan to use those wood burning fires, which I don't think you'll need because it's going to be warm out there today. In the valley, temperatures in the upper 70s, near 80 degrees, with hazy sunshine and winds fairly light out there out of the north-northwest, around 5 miles per hour. In the foothills today, hazy sunshine and warm temperatures climbing into the mid to upper 70s. And as we head over to the Sierra, you'll notice mostly sunny and warmer, relatively speaking, compared to yesterday. It'll be in the 60s and perhaps low 70s out there. And even in the coast, it'll be warm. Temperatures in the mid to upper 80s, especially from Pismo Beach, Los Angeles, into San Diego. Upper 70s stay with us all week long. Cooler as we head into early this weekend. Otherwise, won't need those jackets anytime soon. Amanda?
All right, thanks so much, Alina. Well, voters will decide on 17 ballot measures today, including one that would make marijuana legal.
Proposition 64 would allow people to have up to an ounce of pot. You'd also be able to grow up to 6 plants. People who have been convicted of marijuana offenses in the past may be eligible for representing or early release. Those who have served their time may have their records expunged. If passed, state authorities would begin regulating, licensing, and taxing marijuana businesses in January of 2018. But in the end, it would be up to individual cities and counties to decide if they want to regulate those businesses or ban them completely.
There are dangers, there are violence that surrounds the growing of marijuana, the use of marijuana. The proposition nowhere regulates or begins to control the issues of those driving under the influence of marijuana. We're just not ready for it.
Under Prop 64, you cannot smoke pot in your car or in a public place. And if it passes, employers would still have the right to prohibit marijuana use in the workplace. And the polls will be open from 7 o'clock this morning till 8 o'clock tonight. ABC 30, the ABC 30 mobile app, and ABC30.com are your home for complete election night coverage. We're live beginning at 3 o'clock this afternoon with a special edition of Action News. Get the first local election returns during a primetime edition of Action News at 8 p.m. And after the newscast, go to ABC30.com for more live results and analysis from the Action News team throughout the evening.
Busy day, busy evening, and we'll see you back here on AM Live tomorrow bright and early with all those results too. Action News time, 6:44. Coming up next on AM Live, the sporting event coming up in New York. Tickets going for $25,000 a piece.
Plus, a look at Wall Street on this election day, something that could have a major impact on the numbers. That's coming up in a live report.
Action News is sponsored by the Disabled American Veterans.
Once the dust settles from Congressman Valadeo's misleading smear campaign, a shocking revelation. Valadeo was named one of the most corrupt in all of Congress. Valadeo abused his position for personal gain, benefiting his family property worth millions. We need Emilio Huerta. Born and raised in the Central Valley, he worked for the United Farm Workers Union. Emilio Huerta fights for us every time. House Majority PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Nancy went to Heart, Artery, and Vein Center for her varicose veins.
Dr. Schwarza recommended the laser treatment.
Phenacure endovenous laser treatment has a 98% success rate.
It is not just a cosmetic procedure, and that most insurance companies do cover it.
Learn more at abc30.com. Medical specialist.
Oh, it's made all the difference in the world. I now feel that even at my age, I can wear shorts.
Coming up, Alina Lee with the exclusive Storm 130 forecast, the fastest, most powerful weather tracking system in Central California.
Proposition 52, endorsed by every major newspaper in the state, because it continues the current Medi-Cal funding program that has been working so well since 2009. Tested, tried, and true. Vote yes on 52.
We experienced our first Northeast winter.
We were freezing.
So we went to Burlington. There's so many brands to choose from.
That looks good on you.
We found something for everybody. And the prices are great. This year, we're prepared. Yes!
Our next mayor should have the vision to make Fresno a world-class city.
That's why we're supporting Lee Brand.
Lee is a team player who works together to find solutions.
Lee's trustworthy, and no one works harder than he does.
Lee has a plan to put 1,000 police officers on duty to keep us safe.
And to create a Citizens Police Advisory Board.
Lee has a detailed blueprint to create thousands of new jobs.
Join us and working families throughout Fresno in voting Lee Brand for mayor.
Prop 52, endorsed by business and labor, both political parties, newspapers big and small, teachers, health professionals, and hospitals. Unprecedented support, no organized opposition. Tested, tried, and true. Yes on 52.
The time has finally come. They've made their case. So who will be your next president? This morning, America turns first to GMA and the powerhouse political team for breaking new reports. Then tonight, see it all live on ABC.
This is ABC 30 Action News AM Live with Amanda Venegas, Tony Cabrera, and Alina Lee with the Storm 130 forecast.
Welcome back. Action News time, 6:47. Well, in business news, stocks are down a little so far this morning on Wall Street Day on this election day.
Maribel Aber is live at the NASDAQ market site in New York City with an eye on those numbers. Happy Election Day, Maribel.
Hey, good morning, Tony. Amanda, can you believe it? We made it. Well, lower open after yesterday's big gains. I'll tell you that. Investors are waiting to see how the election unfolds. Right now, stocks are a little bit lower. The Dow's down 36, the S&P down 12, and the S&P down about 5 as we start the day. The asking price for tickets to the UFC's first bout in New York have soared to $25,000 a piece on StubHub. The mixed martial arts fights are being staged at Madison Square Garden this Saturday. It's the first time the UFC has held an event in New York until March. Mixed martial
arts fights were illegal in the state. And blaming the election for a drop in business has become a popular excuse for CEOs. Executives from more than 80 companies mentioned the election on earnings conference calls in the last month. That's from Reuters, which did this analysis of conference call transcripts. Whirlpool used the election as a reason why sales of appliances dipped. Dunkin' Donuts said franchisees were hesitant to open new stores until after the election so they would have a better idea of the regulatory environment. That's latest in Biz from NASDAQ. Happy Election Day, Tony and Amanda. Hopefully by the time you guys get out, the lines will be have died down.
Yeah. Well, I mailed in my ballot, so no line there.
Voted early.
All right.
Good for you.
Thanks so much, Maribel. Have a great day. Well, time now for traffic and weather together.
All right. Yeah, we do want to turn things over to Alina Lee, tracking some fog this morning yet again. Hi, Alina.
Hi, Tony and Amanda, and hello to you at home if you're viewing us there. Yes, there's still some fog this morning, and it's become a little bit more dense out there, especially in the North Valley. Visibility now to a quarter mile in Merced. Fresno down to 2.5 miles of visibility. Hanford still seeing the thickest of the fog with visibilities from 500 feet even below that, and Visalia now at 1.75 miles of visibility. So please be careful if you head on the roadways. Give yourself some extra time this morning and make sure there's extra room between your car and the one in front of you if you can. Right now temperatures are in the upper 40s to low 50s, just like they have been all morning long, really fluctuating between 48 and 49 in Hanford, 49 now in Merced, 52 in Fresno, and 50 everywhere else. Your Election Day forecast goes like this. Temperatures as we head through the rest of the day, mid-70s by lunchtime, upper 70s as we head through the afternoon. And Veterans Day for your Friday, if you're planning ahead, temperatures fairly nice by noontime, mid-70s, but hazy and upper 70s as we head through 3 o'clock, so it will be warm out there by Friday afternoon. That warming trend, of course, doesn't end yet. Now, today's forecast, upper 70s, close to 80 degrees, hazy sunshine and warm. But once you get into the evening, patchy fog will redevelop late tonight, mainly after midnight, and temperatures dipping down to the low 50s. All right, we're going to take one last check of the roadways this morning. Here's CHP Officer Justin Foraker. Good morning, Justin.
Good morning, Alina, and good morning, everyone. Let's go ahead and pull up that live traffic tracker. Take a look at your Tuesday morning commute. We do have one traffic collision to let everyone know about. They're going to be in the southern portion of Fresno County. It looks like State Route 41 at American Avenue. We have a solo vehicle that went off the roadway there. CHP as well as Caltrans and tow truck personnel are going to be on scene out there. It is causing quite a bit of slowing in the area, so if you are traveling that way this morning, please give yourself a little bit of extra time or possibly find an alternate route. Let's go ahead and take a live look outside here. State Route 180 at Chestnut Avenue. As you can see, traffic is light and moving smoothly. I'm Officer Foraker with the California Highway Patrol, reminding everyone with those patchy, dense fog conditions throughout the valley, please give yourself a little bit of extra time. Keep those seatbelts fastened, and please keep driving safely. Tony, Amanda, back to you in the studio.
All right, Justin, thanks for those tips all morning long. Action News Time is 6:51. Next on AM Live, 5 things you need to know before you go.
Including the lines already forming at the Fresno County Elections Office. Take a live look right now. People in line to cast their ballots. We'll have a live report next.
This portion of Action News is brought to you by Me and Ed's Pizzeria.
Well, Me and Ed's has been part of the Valley for over 50 years. I mean, there's generations that have all grown up on a Me and Ed's pizza.
And right now, you can get a large 3-topping pizza for just $11.95.
Perfect. When you've been making it for 50 years, you know it's good.
Your child's heart keeps them alive, but when does it become a silent killer? Childhood obesity can cause high blood pressure, and most kids won't see it coming. Jessica Paris reveals how doctors are fighting to protect your children. Thursday, live at 6. Here's a look at tonight's primetime lineup on ABC 30. Brought to you by Chuck Chansey Gold Resort and Casino.
Uh-oh. Better get Mako.
Now through Black Friday, get up to 50% off select services. But hurry, this offer ends soon. Mako, America's Body Shop.
Prop 56 is a massive tax increase being promoted by health insurance companies and other wealthy special interests. They're using 56 to get $1 billion a year from it. That's not right. Stop the special interest tax grab. No on 56.
Prop 61, big promises. But what are the facts? Prop 61 only covers 12% of Californians, like some state employees and prisoners. The other 88% of Californians would face increased prescription drug prices. Maybe that's why every major newspaper in California is opposed to Prop 61. And so is the California Medical Association and the California division of every major veterans organization. The fact is, 61 would increase prescription drug prices for 88% of Californians. Vote no.
I'm David Valadeo, and I approve this message.
Emilio Huerta took land intended for low-income families and sold it one day later for $1 million profit. In another case, Huerta sued a woman to get her land and water wells. She was harassed and even threatened with sticks and a buzzsaw. To protect herself, she sought a restraining order against Huerta because she feared for her safety. Emilio Huerta, dishonest, greedy, dangerous.
Prop 56 is a massive tax increase being promoted by health insurance companies and other wealthy special interests. They're using 56 to get $1 billion a year from it. That's not right. Stop the special interest tax grab. No on 56.
Action News Time 6:54. The first thing you need to know before you go. Today is Election Day. Within the last hour, Hillary Clinton cast her ballot at a polling place in her hometown of Chappaqua, New York. At about 7, Donald Trump will cast his vote in Midtown Manhattan. In the last Washington Post ABC News poll, Clinton held a narrow 4-point advantage.
Thing 2, we are live in downtown Fresno, outside of the Fresno County elections offices, and we are just minutes away from polls opening. You can already see we have a line of voters lining up. Now, elections officials are expecting a record turnout statewide and in Fresno County, where there are 437,000 registered voters. Now, polling starts at 7 a.m. You can be in line by 8 p.m. to cast your vote. Keep in mind, we have 280 polling locations throughout Fresno County, as well as 10 drive-thrus like the one you see right here.
All right, thanks so much, Vanessa. Number 3, votes will be cast on Proposition 64 today. The Adult Use of Marijuana Act would legalize pot in California, allowing for possession of about 1 ounce or up to 6 plants. If passed, state authorities would begin regulating, licensing, and taxing marijuana businesses in January of 2018.
Number 4, a Fresno family with a child with special needs now has their van back, but without the wheelchair they need. The surveillance video shows the van being stolen. It was recovered late last night and a suspect was arrested. There's no sign of a wheelchair used by a girl with cerebral palsy.
And number 5, the westbound lane of Gettysburg near Blackstone is back open after a crash earlier this morning. Here's a live look at the scene right now. A car crashed and sheared off a power pole, and now crews are trying to replace it. And you can see the eastbound lane is still closed. It could be a few more hours before it's all cleaned up. Officials say the woman who was driving the car was not hurt in the crash.
And finally, a look at weather today.
Yeah, real quickly, I want to show you the fog tracker because we're still seeing some patchy, dense fog out there right now, and it's reducing visibilities in the North Valley. A quarter-mile visibility in Merced, down 500 feet below, or even under, I should say, in Hanford. And in Visalia, we're seeing visibilities just as low as 1.75 miles. So you are going to encounter some patchy fog throughout the morning time as you make your way wherever it is you go, voting, perhaps school, work, whatever it is.
All right, thanks so much, Alina. Well, that does it for us. Good Morning America is next with Election Day coverage.
And we're live beginning at 3 o'clock this afternoon with a special edition of Action News, and local election returns in a primetime edition at 8 o'clock. See you then.
Fire grilled chicken, plus